ready to run that video. Sit back, relax, and the next voice you will hear after that is our upper school vice principal, Mrs. Tanisha Wright. Thank you. Good afternoon, El Instituto family. Nice. I saw, let me see who's that. Mr. Dawson stood up to say good afternoon, which is the El Instituto way. Congratulations. Well done, Mr. Dawson. Yes, students, that's how we do it. We stand to greet our teachers, and we stand to greet just about any adult who comes in the room to greet us. That's how we have been trained at El Instituto. So I'm going to do it again, and I want the students to follow the example Mr. Dawson just set. Good afternoon, everyone. Wow, that looks lovely. Thank you. You may be seated. That's great. All right. Now, as you heard before from our principal, Dr. Wilson, we just ended our kindergarten to grade 1 prize giving, and we had a lovely time. And now we are ready to celebrate with another special group of persons, grade 2 to grade 4 students, and we are happy to have you here. It is indeed a great pleasure for us to be here together as a family on such a grand occasion. You know, at El Instituto, each year when we have our prize giving ceremonies, we look forward to each little one going away with something. And so you have worked hard throughout the year, and at El Instituto, we believe that every effort must be rewarded. And so you are going to get a little award today to show you and remind you. Every day you can look at it and you can say, oh yes, I really worked for this one. Okay, students? So at El Instituto, it is customary for every student to walk away with an award. And this is something we treasure. All right, so let me take time out to greet you. Do we have any member of the Board of Governors with us today? Any member of, oh yes, I see a hand, but the mask, is that Mrs. Richards? Oh yes, it is. Our secretary, Mrs. Richards, is here. Please stand, Mrs. Richards. And yes, beautiful outfit. Please give her a round of applause. She has been working on the board for years, and as a parent too, very supportive parent. Thank you, Mrs. Richards. Any other? Okay, do we have any members from the PCF steering committee? Any parents? Yes, I see Mrs. Brown. Welcome, Mrs. Brown. Good to have you. Another very faithful parent, and she has been working over the years on various committees at El Instituto. Very good. And I want to especially greet our principal who is with us today, Dr. Faithlyn Wilson. She is with us today. She has Well, she's still recuperating, still recovering from an illness, and we are so happy to have her here with us today. She has worked so hard over the years to lead the team and keep this institution afloat through hard times and through good times. With God's help, we are here today. And so I want to greet all the members of staff who are here today. It has been a long and rough year. So today, consider yourself special, and we want to thank you. If you are a member of staff, wherever you are, please wave your hand at us. Some of them are outside, some are downstairs. They are all overworking. We work as a team. Thank you very much. All you lovely parents and guardians, we couldn't have done this without you. And so we value your contribution at El Instituto. You are special. And the little reasons we are here today, our students, our little gems, you are special indeed. And it is a privilege to have you. Give yourselves a clap today. You are looking lovely. We have our very special guest, Mrs. Keela Hartley. Good to have you. Good to have you. She's a parent, and you'll hear from her later, faithful parent. All right, so we are getting ready to go, and the train will leave now. So make sure you're on board. We are ready to start, and we will have lots of achievements to celebrate today. So here we go with our grades 2 to 4 prize giving ceremony. At this time, I'm going to ask one of our songbirds to come and lead us with the hymn of praise, He Leadeth Me, Mrs. Gale.
Good afternoon, everyone. Please stand for the opening hymn. And you can find the words at the back of the program. He leadeth me, O blessed thought, O words with heavenly comfort fraught. Whate'er I do, where'er I be, still 'tis God's hand that leadeth me. He leadeth me, by his own hand he leadeth me. His faithful follower I would be, for by his hand he leadeth me. Sometimes mid scenes of deepest gloom, sometimes where Eden's borrows bloom, by water still or troubled sea, still 'tis his hand that leadeth me. He leadeth me, by his own hand he leadeth me. His faithful follower I would be, for by his hand he leadeth me. Lord, I would place thy hand in thine, nor ever murmur nor repine, content whatever lot I see, since 'tis my God that leadeth me. He leadeth me, by his own hands he leadeth me. His
Thank you very much, Mrs. Gale, for by his hand he leadeth me. One of my favorite hymns, but I can't sing it as well as Mrs. Gale. Thank you, beautiful voice. And I just love those two last lines in the refrain. His faithful follower I would be, for by his hand he leadeth me. We ought to have that prayer today. At this time, we're going to have prayer by Mrs. Amelia Nelson, grade 2 team coordinator and parent.
Please stand for prayer. Let us pray. Dear kind and most righteous Father, we thank you for the gift of life. We thank you for health and for strength and the opportunity to come gathered here today to celebrate the victory for our students and also our teachers. Mighty God, we ask that you may continue to lead us as we lay ourselves in your hands, knowing that once we hold your hand, you will lead us into the path of righteousness. Lord, we pray for the parents that you may help them to listen to your voice when it comes to training their children in the right way, Father God. Grant that they may work with us as teachers to mold and shape the minds of the young, which are being so heavily impacted by technology nowadays. Father, grant that we may spend time with our children, to play with them, to pray with them, and also to read with them, instead of being on gadgets majority of the day. Lord, we thank you for taking this institution throughout another year, which was turbulent at first due to COVID, but because of your grace, we were able to make it thus far. We are grateful, Lord, for the strength you have given your teachers, who you have inspired to teach, mighty God. We're grateful for the administration that we have that is Christ-centered, Lord, so that we can worship you and adore your matchless name. Lord, as we go through the rest of this day and the program, Lord, may it be done according to your name, honor, and glory. In your son's precious name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you for that lovely prayer, Mrs. Nelson. And indeed, we are depending on God to lead us. By his hand, he will lead us today and onwards. At this time, I know you're already feeling welcomed. I know you're already feeling at home, but we're going to ask Mr. Stewart to come now. Grade 4 teacher, Mr. Stewart, to come and extend the official welcome. Okay, not seeing Mr. Stewart, not sure if he's downstairs. Oh, he's coming from the, okay. Thought there was a change, but there they are now. You will see on your program that we do have grade 4 students. No, they are here. Okay, lovely.
Ni hao. Bonjour. Buenos dias. Welcome, welcome one and all to our annual prize giving for grade 4, for grades 2 to 4. El Instituto de Mandevilla anticipates to refresh and cheer on its students and family as we proceed with our program. It is indeed a pleasure to have you all share with us. Do sit back, relax, and enjoy your evening.
Wonderful, wonderful. I am so proud of them. Do you know why? I am so proud of them. The set of students, I believe, who should have been here to welcome are not here. So we decided to ask Mr. Stewart, who is the teacher. But then Mrs. Gordon worked a miracle with three of our lovely students. They just got it. Please give them a round of applause. They just got it and they did a fine job. Oh, we have excellent students and teachers who can almost make bread out of stone. Okay. All right. That was lovely. Now we are feeling welcomed. We were welcomed in different languages. And that's what we do at El Instituto, right? Okay, so we're moving right ahead. At this time, I'm going to ask you all to stand and you're going to welcome our principal with greetings, Dr. Faithlyn Wilson.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Vice Principal Wright. You may be seated. Those of you who have been part of the El Instituto family for a long time, you know that I'm experiencing a high right now, and it's a good one. I don't believe in taking drugs. I don't teach it. I don't do it. But I just love when the El Instituto family comes together as we are together today. We need it as the adults and the children need it. It's part of their socialization to be able to come to an event like this and participate. It is absolutely awesome that we, after 2 years of not being able to come together like this, we can do it. Granted, we still have to be observing some protocols, like you notice our children, they know they are to wear their mask and they know how to wear it properly because we model it for them, and parents, I know you also talk with them about it. So we are asking all our adults to continue to model it by wearing your mask in this event. Now there is a silver Toyota sign. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but if it's English, it's sign. That CN, see, the SI sounds like SE. CN, Toyota CN. It's, the license number is 0926JS, and you are parked where you should not be parked. So please go and remove that car. We are not short of parking. We have a parking lot to the front and there's one to the back, and they are all manned. So we are looking out for your vehicles. Now it is indeed my pleasure today to bring a short greeting to you all, our students and our parents, guardians, and well-wishers. Our theme for today's ceremony is still moving forward. And it takes a lot of courage to even say this because of all the battles that we have all fought. Our children have had to make major adjustments over the last year. Parents, you know the struggles you've been through even to keep them here at El Instituto, a private school, over the last year. As team members, staff members at El Instituto, it has been a constant struggle. But the fact is we are here today and we can, by faith, see a very good future. Our children are entering into the summer holidays, and we have to admit that there are some things that may happen over the summer holidays. One is that they may be tempted to spend a lot of time on the gadgets. Now, the psychologists have told us that what we have done over the last 2 years should not have happened. It does more harm than good to have our children exposed to the internet and to computer gadgets for prolonged periods of time. The recommended time, including watching television, is not more than 2 hours. You know that our children have been spending more than 2 hours. And I see one of our little boys saying, what? 2 hours? But yes, the recommended time is 2 hours or less. So over the summer, we are strongly suggesting, recommending that we help our children to reset. Now, we all know that the best way to help them reset is to model the reset ourselves. So we have to let them know that our gadgets that we use are used mainly for work, so that they know that their gadgets are used mainly for their work. And children, you know what your work is, studying at school, right? Reading your books and reading your textbooks, your books for entertainment, all of that kind of thing. So your gadgets should be used mainly for that. Parents, if we do not model it, they will not get it. So recently I was at dinner and I'm thinking it's a family. There was a male, a female, two other females, and there was one child, and there was a male, and I'm just assuming he's the dad. And there was a child sitting on his lap. And I watched that family for about an hour. And I don't think they said more than 2 or 3 words to each other. That little boy was still a toddler, not yet school age, couldn't be more than 2. He was on a gadget. The person I'm calling the dad was on his gadget. The person I'm calling the mom was on her gadget. 2 other adults were on their gadgets. And I had to conclude, maybe they are talking to each other via the gadgets. It couldn't be that this was a set of people who knew each other and they had no conversation for at least an hour. Let us not let that happen within the L Institute of Family. We need to be talking together about everything over the summer holidays. In addition to that, a number of our children no longer want to exercise. Oh, PE makes me tired. So they are going to put away the gadget. We're going to model it for them. We're going to show them how to have all these conversations talking about everything. And we are also going to show them that at least 1 hour of every day must be spent in exercise. And this doesn't mean, and that's what's recommended by the health experts. I didn't just come up with the idea. Now, you may say, but we can't go outside, it's not safe and all of those kinds of things. But the fact is there are some things we can do inside. We can skip, right, children? Yes, we can skip. We can do the hula hoop, right? Okay, we can. Ika Mark is shaking his head. Not yet, Ika Mark, but you could learn it over summer. We can go up and down the stairs and make a game out of it and see who can do that. Yes, I have a little son and he used to do that. That's how I know that there were 13 steps going up the stairs, because he would count it. And at that time, he was so young, he had learned how to count to, I think, 12 and at school at El Instituto. But now we could add 1, he could count to 13 because he was doing that step. And one day he did it 26 times. I'm not kidding. So the step can work. Around the furniture can work. But again, students, parents, the word is model it. So we have to skip, we have to hula hoop, we have to up and down the step, we have to do all of that to make sure that not only your children not spend more than 2 hours on the gadget, including watching television for the day, but that instead they are having conversations and they are exercising. One of the things that the gadgets have done, and we can test it right here today, some of you have already tuned out of what I'm saying, because our attention span has gotten so short. 8 seconds is what it is said it is now. 8 seconds. Can you imagine trying to teach children a whole very compact curriculum and they can only pay attention for 8 seconds? So we have to restore that. And so the final word of greeting is let them read. And again, they will only do that if we model it. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Wilson. All right, and we are moving on. But before we have our introduction of the guest speaker, I want to give a special shout out to our viewers on YouTube and another special shout out to a very special team. I don't know how they do it. They work on weekends, they work on nights, they just work. The ICT team. I tell you, see that beautiful lady up there, she has joined them. And I tell you, these two gentlemen, I don't know what we would have done without Mr. Emron Williams and Mr. Dwayne Miller. And they have been joined by two beautiful ladies. Now I realize I want to give you a special thank you today on behalf of the El Institute of Family. And I also want to greet two other members of the management team. I know I mentioned the staff, but we work a lot with teams and with committees and so on, and it has been proven to be a wonderful thing, a very special technique that works for us at El Instituto. And I want you to meet two lovely ladies who you don't see at the front, but they are always working. Mrs. Valerie McNamee, Vice Principal for Lower School. She's always at the door. I bet she's out there sanitizing hands and doing all kinds of things. Shout out to you, Mrs. McNamee. I'm not seeing her, but she's there. And there she is. Yes, and if you see me looking out there and trying to get something, is probably I forgot something and she's doing this and saying something like that. Okay, so that's Mrs. McNamee. And we have Mrs. Deborah Ann Rowe, who is our business support manager. She's right down there at the back. Wave at us, Miss Rowe. I almost said Mrs. Okay, so lovely to have you. And here we go. We continue on our program. At this time, I'm going to ask Mrs. Amelia Nelson to come, and she's going to introduce to us our guest speaker for the afternoon. Mrs. Nelson is grade 2 team coordinator and a parent to Mrs. Nelson.
Madam Principal, Vice Principals, Board Chairman, members of the PCF, teachers, auxiliary staff, parents, guardians, students, good afternoon. The task is mine this afternoon to introduce our guest speaker. When asked about who she is a wife, a mother, a friend, a parent of the Instituto de Mandevilla family. She's also a teacher and an acting principal at the Fairfield Primary School in a rural community in Northwest Manchester. She has excellent lesson planning skills, and she always tries to cater to diverse learners in order to captivate her students and ensure that all students are learning. She plans interactive lessons for all to be engaged. After all, every child can learn, every child must learn. This tremendous woman also solicits community partnership and resources to enhance academic programming in schools as a key aspect of managing schools. These attributes qualify her as our guest speaker this afternoon. Without further ado, please stand and help me in welcoming our guest speaker, Mrs. Hartley, who will speak on the theme, Still Moving Forward.
Thank you so very much, Mrs. Nelson. And I can't forget when I had enrolled my child here at El Instituto, she was his class teacher. I am so shocked this afternoon that I am the guest speaker myself, because I was asked to give a charge And when I came to the door, Mrs. McNamee said to me, please make your way to the stage. Nevertheless, I am a talker, and I expect you guys to interact with me, especially the babies. I have never taught lower school before, and I can say, put your hands to the teachers who teach lower school. Because trust me, I don't know the boom, ka. I don't know. So, chairman for today's function, Mrs. Wright, principal of this noble institution, Dr. Caitlin Wilson, members of the Board of Management, members of the PCF, members of the academic staff and the ancillary staff, other distinguished ladies and gentlemen in the audience, to our supporting parents, students of grades 2, 3, and 4, well-wishers in the audience, and who are viewing on the different online platform. A pleasant afternoon to you. Good afternoon. I won't be long, so you can tell me good afternoon. Good afternoon. I am elated this afternoon to congratulate the grade 2, 3, and 4 students on completing another year of study. Put your hands together for them, man. I'm pretty sure you're happy to be here this afternoon. Your children are looking beautiful, and this is all because of you. So when we ask to put our hands together for them, you ought to do that. Boys and girls, I want to let you know that you are special. And the reason why you are special is because God made you so. So listen to this. Turn to your right, boys and girls. Turn to your right. And just touch the next person and let them know. Just touch them and say, you're special. All right? Turn to your left now. And touch the next person and just tell them the same thing. You're special. Yes, you are all special. And as I said earlier on, you are special because God made you so. And there is a little song that says, God made you special. Parents, you too are special, because had it not been for you, the children wouldn't have been looking so beautiful this afternoon. As much as boys and girls, I'm talking to the babies now, boys and girls, as much as you are between the ages of 7 to 10, I can say that you have made yourself proud. The fact that you are here this afternoon, you have made yourself proud. And you have not only made yourself proud, but you have made your parents proud. So at this point, students, I'm asking you now to put your hands together for your parents. Clap them, man. Because guess what? They would have made a lot of sacrifices for you. And how could I forget the teachers? They too are proud this afternoon. Sometimes I hear my son comes home and he said, Mommy, teacher is so miserable just like you. And my son may not speak at school, but he's extremely vocal when he comes home. So he will sometimes maybe say that teacher is miserable. But I am a teacher too, and I'm pretty sure that my students will say the same thing about Mrs. Hartley. But I can tell you, when I walk on the streets of Mandeville and I see them, I feel extremely well, because I would have touched some lives. Having taught GSAT and PEP for so many years, sometimes when I see them, I have to be looking up into their faces, because they have made me proud. The theme for this afternoon prize giving ceremony is still moving forward. But what does it mean to move forward? Can any boy or girl be so brilliant? And I see a hand over there. What does it mean to be moved forward? Moving forward from the past without giving me back the term moving forward. Yes, let me hear from this young man. You don't need to be shy. I'm a teacher too. Can somebody repeat what he just said? Are you still contemplating? Hand is right. Moving forward to the gates of heaven. Wow. Let's hear from this one here. This is the girl here. Moving from the past to the future. Very good. Blue shirt there. And I'll take one more pink mask. Yes. Remember when you're responding, try to stand. Moving on. With your life, yes. Pink mask. Lower your mask. Keep on going. Very good. All right, put down your hands now, because if I was supposed to take every hand, I bore you guys here this afternoon. So, moving forward, or still moving forward, going ahead. And boys and girls, where you are today, you are moving forward. Because the grade that you are today, you will no longer go back to that grade when you go back to school come September. You will be moving ahead. Whether you like it or not, whether you pass or not, whether you can read or not, you will be moving forward. And therefore, again, instead of saying moving forward, we can say going ahead, making a headway and pushing on. And boys and girls, you can't do all of these on your own because you're children. You will need the support. And your greatest supporters are your parents. Because the first person that you wake up in the morning and see who they are, your parents. So as you move forward, going ahead, making a headway, pushing on, you can't do that on your own. And parents, let me tell you too, you too need to move forward. Whether you like it or not, parents, you need to move forward because we are now living in a technological age. And I was on summer school since morning and I was rushing to come here. And I said to two of the young ladies on the platform, could you just continue the lesson for me? And I was so amazed to hear the two young ladies. I don't know them. They're from all over Jamaica because I'm teaching with Learning Hub. And they were able to carry out the lesson until I was ready to leave the house at 11:45. So parents, don't be stagnant. You too need to move forward because you'll find that your children are moving way ahead of you. Get with it. Boys and girls of grade 2 to 4, as you continue on your educational path, it is very important to know that you should continue to move forward and strive for excellence in order to reach your fullest potential. As I would have said earlier, in order for you to move forward, you will need the support of your parents as well as the teachers. Anywhere you go in the world, teachers are highly recognized. Whether we like them or not, they are highly recognized. Parents, these are my few words to you. Parents, you are your child or your children's greatest cheerleaders, and you are their role model. It is very important to impart to your child or children the importance of a good education. I always tell my students that the only thing that can take you out of poverty is a good education. El Institute children maybe are from the upper class, but where I teach in the rural community of Manchester. So therefore I have to instill in the students that, listen, my man, If you are from this community, 10 years from now, I don't want to see you in the same place. So parents, it is very, very important that we place emphasis on education. I can also say that when I was growing up, my mother was a domestic helper, but my grandmother was always praying. And my mother would say that I was a domestic helper and none of my 6 children will become domestic helpers. So whether we like it or not, she would do the domestic work, but at the end of the day, she would make sure that education came first. Even when we went home in the evenings and we didn't understand what to do, she would call the bigger ones and she would said to them, go make sure that Kay, Christine, Kim understand what to do. So parents, education is a wonderful asset. And I can tell you that the only time you lose it is when you go 6 feet down. You believe that? You can respond to me, you know, you can always respond to me. Bear that in mind. I know that you will continue to invest in your education, in your child's education, I should say. It's a lot of money we invest here, you know. But guess what? I have no regret sending my son here. I wish if I had sent my son here from he was 3 years old, because I tell you, I get value for money. All right? So it is very important that we continue to invest greatly in ensuring that your child or your children receive the best education possible. And I know that when you leave here this evening, you're going to hear this voice and you're going to see me on Mandeville Town, because I am a very popular girl. Enough people know me because it's enough school I go. And I'm known to be a chatter. I know you're going to tell me that. I know that a couple of days down the road, you're going to remember I said invest in education because it dies with you. It was Henry Longfellow who reminded us. And if you know these words, I want you just to repeat them with me. The heights by great men reached and kept were not attained by sudden flight, but they, while their companions slept, they were toiling upward through the nights. When we were going to school, we had to know all of this. But because we're in a technology era now and the Ministry of Education give us so much to do, we can't even focus on those anymore. Parents, I can only encourage you to do the following for your child or your children. Continue boosting your child or children's self-esteem. Number 2, set limits and be consistent with your discipline. Discipline your child so that you won't have to discipline them in the public. Know your child or children's friend. Make time for your children. So many of us at times are so busy completing our 9 to 5 and we forget about our children. Make time for them, and as Dr. Wilson said, be models to read for them. Be good role models. Make communication be a priority. Sit and talk to them. Be flexible and be willing to adjust your parenting style. The way how we were grown, we can't treat them the same way in today's society. And how can I not say show your love unconditionally? And today is prize giving. Reward your child when they have made you proud. And for me, if it's even to take Hezron to KFC, he likes KFC. Reward your child when they do something well. Parents, remember those words. These children are babies. They may not fully understand what it means to move forward, but with your help, they should be able to move on in a positive way. Teachers of this noble institution, wherever you are this afternoon, teachers, I must commend you for a job well done. And I must say for the past 2 years, You guys have worked harder than before. Whether you believe it or not, while I was at home online, these teachers were on from at least 5 minutes to 8 in the morning. I don't know how they do it, but they go and they go and they go. Put your hands together for them, man. And they deserve a better hand clap than that. There were days when I had to go to school as acting principal then, and I could literally say to Miss Boyne, please give an eye on Hezron for me because I will not be there. And I felt comfortable. So I know that these teachers, they would have worked extremely hard. But parents, it is very, very important that you work along with your teachers, because teaching should not be up to the teacher and you just leave it like that. As I would have said earlier, these teachers have worked beyond the call of duty. As parents, we all should get on board and support our child or our children as best as is possible. As they move forward, I can only say move forward by faith. There are times when you have the last money and the school fee is due and you pay not having anything else left, but you did that because of faith. And as you move forward by faith, leave everything in the master hand. And who is the master? Jesus Christ. We can't do this on our own, parents. No matter how mighty and strong we are, we can't do this on our own. As I close, parents, encourage your child or children to be like eagles. Eagles are fascinating birds. Eagles are known to have their power and the ability to fly high altitude in the sky. And that is why the theme says, move forward. It flies where no other birds can fly. Children, as teachers, we often remind you to soar like eagles. Aim high, fly high, and then you will reap your success. As I take my leave, children, grades 2 to 4, you have done well. Even if you are not rewarded a prize here today, I am certain that next year, this time, at this very location, you are going to be rewarded a gift. And you are going to make your parents proud. Parents, never get too comfortable with the grades that your children have received, but encourage them that they can do better, because they can do all things through Christ who will give them the strength. Boys and girls, go and enjoy your summer break, because guess what? The next grade that you will go in will not be as easy as the one that you're coming from. Have yourself a good rest of the day. God bless you.
A better round of applause, man, for such a vibrant person, for such a strong speaker. Come on, students, parents, staff members, put your hands together for our guest speaker, Mrs. Sheila Hartley. Wonderful, wonderful. Lovely. I feel motivated. I'm a parent too, not just a teacher. I feel motivated because sometimes I'm guilty of being so busy that I don't even get to check over the homework. So thank God for good teachers. I'm guilty. All right. So thank you, Mrs. Hartley, for encouraging us to keep moving forward and to encourage our children to strive and to be like eagles and always be active parents in the children's lives. We have to work along with the teachers. Thank you, Mrs. Hartley. I'm not doing the vote of thanks. It will come later, but I just had to say that. Wonderful. At this time, our grade 2 students will top it off with their item. Keep moving forward. Please put your hands together for the grade 2 item.
Keep moving forward, but you succeed. Keep moving forward. If things are at a stop, keep moving forward. Don't let it get you down. Get up if you should fall. If you are not keep moving forward. Because sometimes strong like the ocean sand. Find the truth within your heart. Keep moving forward. In everything you are, be what sets you apart. Live for each moment you are given. Keep moving forward. It's not true. That life is truly worth living. And keep moving forward.
That was wonderful. Great job, grade 2 team and your students. Keep moving forward. Don't give up. Let's keep moving forward. And as we move forward in our program today, we're going to invite with the department overview now, Mrs. Deborah McDonald Gordon, grade 4 team coordinator, Mrs. Amelia Nelson, grade 2 team coordinator, and Miss Sophia Palmer, grade 3 team coordinator. Please make them feel welcomed.
Good afternoon, everyone. And I'd just like to add that I am very, very proud of the grade 4 students. They have done very well this year, and they've improved a lot over the last term. So big up yourself, grade 4. Are you ready for the cruise? A famous quote. This is Department Overview 234, where you get it all in a nutshell. I'm your host, Deborah Gordon, and with me, I have co-host Amelia Nelson, grade 2, and Sophia Palmer, grade 3, who will divulge the highlights of the academic year 2021 to 2022, all in a nutshell. A famous quote by Inspirational Universe states that the secret of getting ahead is getting started. Members of the Board of Governors, Madam Principal, esteemed parents, distinguished staff members, relatives, friends, students, a pleasant good afternoon to you all. With the goal of getting ahead in mind, the grades 2 to 4 department started this tedious but fulfilling journey on Tuesday, September 7, 2022. With many curiosity minds waiting to be entertained and nurtured, we started on our very intriguing journey, which included a mixture of online
face-to-face and blended approach school. Was the journey smooth sailing? Not at all. But as the saying goes, with Christ in the vessel, we can smile at the storm. Yes, the students and parents were pretty nervous at the beginning of the term. Some students even showed little interest in going online and even in the learning process. And who could blame them? They were online for 2 long years. But slowly, we all got back into the thick of things, the L Institute way, because where there's a will, there's always a way.
Despite the challenges, our mission was to provide a values-based, technologically enhanced environment that facilitates the holistic development of students. For this year's adventure, we welcomed with open arms 3 new teachers to the departments. They are Miss Yannick Bagot, grade 2. Can you stand, Miss Bagot? Yeah. Miss Shanna K. Forbes, grade 3. And Mr. Davian Stewart in grade 4. In keeping with the Institute's statement of values, we worked as a team to demonstrate Christ-centeredness, which includes excellence, enthusiasm, integrity, respect, cooperation, kindness, and of course, to promote positive self-values.
We also ensured that we started each new day with character education. These sessions promote Christ-centeredness and positive family values, as well as contribute to the holistic development of our students. This was paramount in the success of the grades 2 to 4 department. Students, sometimes joined by parents, enjoyed the opportunity to lead devotional exercises, which afforded them a sense of responsibility associated with being a leader, a key attribute in being nation builders. Some themes used throughout the year were giving, obedience, self-discipline, honesty, leaders of the Bible, wise saying of the Bible. This leg of the journey also included health and family life education. Lessons were carefully planned and executed to equip students with the skills needed to solve problems, enjoy peaceful relationships, care for themselves, and care for others. To assist us on the road, we welcome 2 psychology majors from the Northern Caribbean University, who ably held the hands of our students throughout this leg of the journey. Term 1 ended in a positive light as students enjoyed themselves engaging in events such as doing the limbo to enter their classroom, having a talent show, and also watching movies.
Wow. Term 2 was pretty exciting, but there you have it. But is that the icing on the cake? No. Let's find out. What type is it though? Is it chocolate, vanilla, strawberry? Who knows? Now let's have a break in transmission and maybe we'll get some answers later.
And I say, smile, your smile, smile for me, Jamaica. All right, term 2 began with a power-packed prayer session, which saw us placing our children, parents, teachers, and administration under the care and protection of the Almighty. We all were impacted positively. Within the next month, February, was the Jamaica Day celebration under the theme Celebrating Jamaica, Building Character, Hearts Through the Arts. We deemed this a good comeback after its absence for almost 2 years. For grade 2, plans were put in place for a Jamaica Day dress and car challenge, the first of its kind. The thought of this challenge had children bursting with excitement even before the day. Students, along with their parents, created dresses in Jamaican colors from various materials: crocus bag, cartridge paper, scandal bags, or newspaper. It was a sight to behold. Boys created their Jamaica Day cards with recyclable materials done in the Jamaican colors. The creativity displayed was lit.
Teacher, I just can't get over how creative those students were. Well, for grade 4, we choose to highlight Jamaican cuisine. Can I tell you, though, that we have some awesome parents?
Yes, we do.
Yes, they jumped right in with us. We decorated the classroom walls with banners in the Jamaican colors and made a beautiful balloon arch. The tables were dressed and labeled with the names of many of our scrumptious Jamaican dishes, such as ackee and saltfish and fried dumpling, which was the students' favorite. Drops, gizadas, grater cake, fried fish, homemade ginger beer, just to name a few. Indeed, this was
A sweet taste of Jamaica.
And think we did done? Our own Mr. Stewart did a guided tour for each class that came to visit. He gave them a bit of history as to the origin of some of these meals. The children really enjoyed this. We listened to a medley of Jamaican festival songs, and we even went outside and did a TikTok where the students were singing our popular festival song, "This is the Land of My Birth." Additionally, you could hear students all over the campus rocking to the beat. You could see them and hear them singing and rocking to the beat of "One Love, One Heart" from the famed Bob Marley. No, there was also a mixture of laughter and confusion on the children's face when they were listening to Miss Lou's poems, because some of them are not used to patois. So we had to be helping them, telling them what she was really saying. No, for grades 2 to 4, term 2 ended with great news that school would resume fully face to face.
Oh, yes, teacher. Excitement was brimming on the horizon as term 3 would commence with Child's Month. Child's Day was one with a difference, as the students read a variety of books from different genres, ate popcorn and snow cones as a treat, and enjoy a full 2 hours of play. Tug of war was an all-time favorite, as grade 2 battled grade 3, who were more mature in the art of tug of war. Students and teachers alike enjoyed skipping, hula hoops, and playing football. It was just so refreshing and fun to see teachers relive our childhood moments through play.
Yes, my favorite teacher was the Dandy Shandy.
Oh, yes.
No, this term for grade 4 was a big reality check. After 2 years of canceled grade 4 pep, it was on. Even though we had been doing our performance tasks and critical thinking activities in language arts and maths at least 3 days of each week, we really buckled down and the children gave it their all. Did I mention that term 3 is also always our busiest term? Yes, because it is a short term, we had quite a few activities to do. These include
Child's Day, Teachers Day, essay and poetry competition. De-stress day number 1, Crocs and Socks Day. De-stress day number 2, anything but a backpack day. Class parties were held to finish the school year. But Ms. Palmer, what do you have to say about that?
Hold on, teacher. Just watch the video. Grade 3 students and teachers stole the show. We found ourselves in the presence of princesses and princes. All the childhood stories materialized in front of us. Snow White, Cinderella, Rapunzel, Prince Charming. It was a fairy tale day that will always be in our memories. Crocs and socks, anything but a backpack day. Sell off. An awesome way to end the term and the school year.
For this challenging yet exciting and fulfilling year, we must say thank you, Lord. Special thanks to our auxiliary team who spent each day making sure our surroundings were super clean and our meals were well prepared. Big up yourself.
Thanks to our principal and management team for steering us through this magnificent journey. To our friends, parents, and the administrative team, we couldn't have done it without you.
Not to forget our teachers and the ICT members. You held the hands of our precious gems as we steadily made our way through the terms. And finally, and most importantly, thanks to God Almighty, the one on whom the foundations of this noble institution is built.
Pleasant evening to you all.
Wow, that's sell off. Do you agree? Say sell off. Okay, that was well done. Thank you, team leaders from grades 2 to 4. There we saw teamwork. And we love to say at El Instituto, teamwork makes the dream work. That was awesome. And see, they worked with the ICT team as well. That's teamwork. Wonderful. Thank you very much, Mrs. Gordon, Mrs. Nelson, and Ms. Palmer for the department overview. At this time, you're going to be treated with a special musical interlude by the El Institute of Violinists and their teacher, Miss Cynthia Bloomfield. While they are coming, I'm going to ask the grade 2 team to prepare for their presentations. Please put your hands together. Look at them. They look lovely. Wow, that was lovely. That was lovely. Thank you very much, Miss Bloomfield, and your little troupe, the L Institute of Violinists. That was great. You see, we place great emphasis on academics, but we also like to see well-rounded students, and this tops it off. Thank you very much. At this time, the grade 2 team is ready. Yes, led by their team leader, Mrs. Nelson, and they will be presenting awards to their students. I now invite Miss Deborah Ann Rowe to come, and she will be our reader for this afternoon.
So wonderful to see you all. Grade 2, you look wonderful. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, presenting the hard-working teachers and students of grade 2 from El Instituto de Mandevilla. We will be awarding these students for their efforts in their schoolwork by giving them certificates of achievement, merit, distinction, and prizes for top boy and top girl, and other various prizes for which they have been working hard this term. Let us begin with grade 2 Nelson. Receiving a certificate of merit, Aiden Cole. Tayshawn Foster. Tayshawn. Some of our students are joining us online. Jadav McLeod, online as well. And Lucas Gray, online. The following students will receive certificates of distinction. Zuri Bennett. Now the next student receives recognition for being the most improved student and most helpful. We will all, most helpful and most improved. Giovanna Foster. Receiving a certificate of merit, Jada McLeod. This young lady is the most courteous little girl, and she receives a certificate of distinction. Fallon Holloway. Lovely Miss Holloway. Receiving a certificate of distinction, Caitlin Miller. Also receiving a certificate of distinction, Ariana Monroe. The most helpful boy, receiving a certificate of distinction, Jayshawn Anderson. We hope he hears us online. Also receiving a certificate of distinction, Hugh Buchanan. Aidan Gentles. Zachary Huffenden. Dapper Sakari Haffenden. Continuing with certificates of distinction, Jaden James. Our most improved boy, who also receives a certificate of distinction, Aidan Morel. Our most courteous boy, Elias Stout. And the certificate of distinction goes to Amir Witter. Now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, our top girl for grade 2 Nelson is Tamia Wright. And our top boy, LeBron Plummer. LeBron, we hope you can hear us loud and clear from where you are online. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the students of grade 2 Nelson. We continue this afternoon with grade 2 Haynes Wright. Receiving a certificate of achievement, Tajay Russell. Certificates of merit are awarded to Matthew Forbes. The most improved student, Malik Richards, receives a certificate of merit. The following students receive certificates of distinction. The most helpful girl, Tamian Allwood. An extremely courteous young lady, Claire Bagaloo. Also receiving a certificate of distinction, Janika Lindsay. The most improved student who is receiving a certificate of distinction, young lady, Azalia Lyons. Another young lady who has to be awarded for being most courteous, as well as achieving a certificate of distinction, Kaylin Price. Certificate of distinction awarded to Kalicia Townsend. Our boys receiving certificates of distinction are Khalif Collins, Imari Chisholm, and the most helpful boy who receives a certificate of distinction as well is Tazir Merchant. Now let us celebrate with grade 2 Haynes Wright students who are top boy and top girl, or top boy, Aidan Gowdy. And our top girl, Jordy Lynn Powell. Ladies and gentlemen, and boys and girls, let's give a hand for grade 2 Haynes Wright. We continue to celebrate with grade 2 Baga. Certificates of achievement are awarded to the following students: Chandre Baran, Alia Gooden, Halil Nelson, and the most improved student in grade 2 Bagal, Canadia Witter. The following student is the most helpful student in grade 2 Bagal. He receives a certificate of merit, Justin Dillon. Now, certificates of distinction are awarded to Dilajani Bolton, Ruel Graham, Hezron Hartley, Kimani Heath, joining this group of distinction, Giovanni Smith, the most courteous student, receiving a certificate of distinction, Aaron Simmons. Certificates of distinction are awarded to Kellon Carter. Aliana Gordon. Loria Layla. Michaela Palmer. Sky Sutherland. And Faith Leanna Winden. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the top boy of grade 2 Bagal is Johnny Plummer. Fabulous violinist as well. And our top girl, Jada Blood. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I present to you grade 2. We thank Mrs. Amelia Nelson, Mrs. Pearl Haynes Wright, Miss Yannick Bagal, and all their teachers for all their hard work. Parents, thank you for continuing to do what you do.
And thank you, Miss Rowe, for reading so lustily. Thank you very much. That was the grade 2 team. Congratulations, students. Congratulations. Put your hands together again. If you want to do it, let's go ahead and do it. Yes. Miss Lou would say, fenke, fenke. All right, and we don't want it to be fenke, fenke. The children are wondering, what is Mrs. Wright saying? I'll tell you later. Okay, but put your hands together, and when you're doing it, do it to the best of your ability. That's it. All right. Thank you very much. Now we are going to be favored with another item. This one comes from the grade 3 students. It's a poem entitled Forward Still, 'Tis Jehovah's Will. Put your hands together for the grade 3 team.
Are you ready to move forward, soldiers? Sir, yes, sir. Sir, yes, sir. We go.
Forward still, it is Jehovah's will. It is his will for us to move forward. And that is why we have the theme today, still moving forward. Please put your hands together for the grade 3 team. And here they come with their presentations, along with their teachers, Miss Sophia Palmer, team coordinator, Miss Shanike Forbes, and Mr. Zitari Williams. At this time, I invite our reader, Miss Serena Ellis, who is also a teacher at kindergarten, to come right now, and she will read for us.
A pleasant afternoon, everyone. We will start with grade 3 Palmer. The following students will be awarded certificates of distinction. I'll start with the girls. Certificate of distinction is awarded to Isabel Alexander. Certificate of distinction is awarded to Jadalee Blake. Certificate of distinction goes out to Zenova Lawrence. Certificate of distinction and the most courteous goes to Alena Liao. Certificate of distinction to Peyton Miller. Certificate of distinction to Fatima Perry. Certificate of distinction to Zoiana Phillips. Following Zoiana, we have a certificate of distinction to Abriana Reynolds. Most courteous Samoya Tate distinction. Distinction going out to Dana Alexis Walters. Certificates of distinction for our boys. Munir Davis. Most courteous distinction award to Zachary Dawson. Most helpful distinction goes out to Jace Ives. Most helpful distinction goes out to Joshua Masters. Most improved boy with a distinction goes out to Kershawn Robinson. Certificate of Distinction going out to Xavier Simpson. Certificate of Merit goes out to Danique Hazel. Certificate of Merit goes out to Antoine Butler. Certificate of Merit goes out to Dakari Williams. Most Improved Boy goes out to Gavin Wisdom. And are we waiting for the top girl and boy? With distinction goes out to Shante Brown. I can see why you were saluted in your presentation earlier, because you are the top boy, Michaelis Michael. Please give applause to K3, grade 3, Palmer. Come on, do better than that. They have done well. Miss Forbes, you're next. Certificates of Distinction going out to Danielia Eglinton. Certificate of Distinction, Kalia Corthy. Most courteous distinction awarded to Haley Smith. Most helpful distinction goes out to Kamal Harrison. Most improved student who walks away with distinction, Jamari Mackenzie. Certificate of Distinction to Janiqua Griffiths. Certificate of Distinction to Ariana Sudin. Most helpful distinction going out to Ariane Oliphant. Most improved student walks away with a distinction, Brianna Johnson. Certificate of Distinction to Chrisan Hosley. Certificate of Distinction, Natalia Williams.
Certificate of Distinction to Shakaria Brown. Certificate of Distinction goes out to Raishin Campbell. Certificate of Distinction to Tajeda Winter. Certificates of Merit, Tylon Swaby. Certificate of Merit to Destiny Ebanks. Certificate of Achievement, Justin Miller. Certificate of Achievement to Macarly Johnson. Certificate of Distinction to Sue Young Nephew. Certificate of Distinction going out to our top boy, Andrew Barnes. Certificate of Distinction and Top Girl awarded to Zarine Holdness. Please give a warm round of applause to the students and teacher of grade 3 Forbes. Grade 3 Williams. Certificates of Distinction awarded to Annalie Williamson. Certificate of Distinction awarded to Gabrielle Aldane. Certificate of Distinction to Elite Stout. Certificate of Distinction to Adrienne All. Certificate of Distinction going to Tremaine Allen. Certificate of Distinction, Sheldony Lee. Certificate of Distinction to Jermaine Wallace. Certificate of Distinction and Most Courteous to Janelle Gordon. Certificate of Distinction to Nicole Cooper. Certificate of Distinction to Racine Campbell. Certificate of Distinction to Sigila Jones. Certificate of Merit to Khalil Leslie. Certificate of Merit to Jalik Caridice. Certificate of Merit to Ikamar Green. Certificate of Merit to Mason Snipe. Certificate of Achievement to Khalil Hall. Top boy goes out to Zayden Williams. Most helpful. Certificate of Distinction goes out to our top girl, Emma James. Please give a round of applause to all the teachers and students of grade 3.
And a round of applause for our reader, Miss Serena Ellis. Thank you very much, Miss Ellis. And congratulations to the grade 3 team. Miss Sophia Palmer, Miss Shanna K. Forbes, Mr. Zitari Williams, and their wonderful students. Congratulations. Yes, Mr. Stout, if you want to do it, go ahead and applaud our children. Very good, thank you. All right, so now we are going to be favored by another item. This one comes from grade 4. And as we move forward, they are telling us that anything's possible. While they come, please, grade 4 team, please prepare for your presentations. good. That's the grade for students. Anything's possible. Good job. At this time, I invite to come again our business support manager, Miss Deborah Ann Rowe, who will read for us. And I present to you the grade 4 team led by Mrs. Deborah McDonald Gordon, team leader, teacher Mrs. Shorna Lewis Wright, and teacher Mr. Davian Stewart. The grade 4 students are there as well. Put your hands together.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we begin with grade 4 Gordon. Receiving certificates of achievement, O'Shane Gavin. Joining O'Shane in this category, Joshua Gale. And rounding out the category, Khalifa Hill, who's online. In the category of Certificate of Merit, and for being most courteous, Gian Brown. We also have in the Certificate of Merit category, Brittany Smith. Joining us from cyberspace. In the category of Certificate of Distinction, we have Danilo Bryan, Jadon Dillon, and the most improved student who made it all the way to the Certificate of Distinction, Nathaniel Phillips. Here with us in the sanctuary, we have Kayla Beadle, Certificate of Distinction. The most helpful student, Natalia Bloomfield. Brianna Dixon. Continuing to receive certificates of distinction, the most improved student, Sahai Hewitt. Ria Jones. Justin Anderson. Daniel Davy. DeAndre Nemhard. And the most courteous, most helpful student who receives a certificate of distinction, Andrew Scarlett. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the top girl of grade 4 Gordon is Stalita Brooks. And the top boy, Ershawn Ogilvy. Oh my goodness. Now everyone, listen up, because in grade 4 we have an essay and book report competition, and the winners of this competition are also awarded. Now, the best book report boy, it goes to Daniel Davey. Daniel, come back. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I want to thank you for cheering on grade 4 Gordon. Moving on, we're going on to grade 4 Lewis Wright. Receiving a certificate of commendation, these students are online. Chesandi Gomez and Lauren Neal. Receiving certificates of achievement, also online. DeJorn Heron and Tyreek Miller. Certificates of merit are awarded to Jada Marie Rose, who is online, and to the following students who are right here with us. Angelique Allen. The most improved student who receives a certificate of merit, Ronaldo Emmanuel. Continuing in the category, Shyla Henry. Peyton Murray. Jordan Richards. Certificates of distinction are awarded to Ryan Ranjit Anthony and Matthew Foster, both of them online. And we continue with those who are here with us. Aiden Canicle. Samir Mungal Singh. The most helpful girl, Zaria Ingram. Talia Napier. Now for grade 4, Lewis Wright, the top girl is Ariane Lloyd. Budding violinist as well. And our top boy, Eli Palmer. Let's give a hand for grade 4, Lewis Wright. Introducing grade 4, Stewart. Receiving a certificate of commendation, this young lady is on our online team, Naja Monet Nelson. Here with us, we have Kyle Russell. Online listening, receiving a certificate of achievement, Tishana Plummer. The following students receive certificates of merit. Afion Larmond. Mahalia Rowe. And the most improved student, Katalea Keppel. Receiving certificates of distinction, these students join us online this afternoon. The most improved boy, Josh Williams. The most courteous girl, Kaylee Wilson. The most helpful girl, Mahalia Allen. Receiving certificates of distinction and joining us online as well, Dominic Gardner, Michelle Reynolds. Here with us, in person, Sarah Lee Harrison. Earning a certificate of distinction, Ethan Vickers. And the most helpful boy, Leonardo Mitchell. Help me to welcome top girl, grade 4 Stewart, Jaden Lewis. And most courteous and top boy, Marquis Scodling. Everyone put your hands together for the class of grade 4 Stewart, grade 4 Lewis Wright, grade 4 Gordon. Parents, clap yourselves.
And put your hands together for our reader, Miss Deborah Ann Rowe.
It was really lovely being a part of the audience. I really enjoy it more from down there. I feel more like a part of the family, but then I also have responsibilities as your principal. At this time, I'd like to invite our PCF steering committee member, Mrs. Brown, Mrs. Pauline Brown. Would you come to help us with these presentations, please? Our special student awards. As our vice principal said at the beginning, Mrs. Brown we call her a mother. She's actually a grandmother, but she's just a strong member of the El Instituto family. Lovely to have you, Mrs. Brown. And our student awards for book report, we have Nathalia Williams, top book report. Followed by Andrew Barnes. I hope Andrew hasn't left. Okay. Miss Palmer, please come and assist us with these presentations. I am not seeing her in the room, teacher. Oh, yes. Grade 3 Williams, top book report, Emma James. I know Emma is not here, but please applaud her anyway. And Zayden Williams. Wow, it's our top boy and our top girl for that class. All right, lovely. Congrats, Zayden. Then for grade 3 Palmer, we have Joshua Masters and Samoya Tate. I don't think Samoya is here, but please applaud her anyway. Congrats, Josh. Then for grade 4 Gordon, we have our little prayer warrior, Brianna Dixon. If you need somebody to pray for you, ask Brianna. And Kedaniel Davy. I see persons are leaving. I know some persons have to go back to work. I want to make sure that all our children get the support, so I'm going pretty quickly. Grade 4 Stewart, Michelle Reynolds. Sometimes I can't believe these are the ones that have reached grade 4 already. Is Michelle here? No. Ethan Vickers. I was looking for grade 4 Lewis Wright. Grade 4 Lewis Wright, our little violinist and top girl, Ariane Lloyd. And then top book report, boy, Samir Mangal Singh. Is Samir here? Incidentally, Samir's little brother was the poster top boy for K3. On to our essay and poetry awards. These are for the children who were top in the essay and poetry competition. Fallon Holloway, grade 2 Nelson. Oh, they have left. Aiden Gentles has left. Miss Bagal's class, Jada Blanc. Nikayla Palmer. Grade 2. Oh, I'm sorry. It should have been Ajani Plummer. Oh, you're coming. Samir, yes, Samir is coming for his book report prize. But it's Ajani Plummer for grade 2 Bagal. It's just amazing. Ajani Plummer is one of our violinists. He was top boy, and he's also top essay and poetry for grade 2 Bagal. Grade 2 Haynes Wright, Jordan Powell. Grade 3 Palmer, Shantae Brown, top girl Shantae Brown. And the top essay and poetry boy is also our top book report boy, Joshua Masters. His sister is our head girl. She's one of our violinists. And she was top girl in her class too, so I guess he has a good example. Grade 3 Forbes, Thailand Swaby. I hope Thailand is here. No? Ariane Oliphant. I didn't see Ariane earlier either. Grade 3 Williams, Emma James, and Zaid. Oh, I called those names already. Oh, Zayden gets a second prize. Top boy Zayden, top essay and poetry, top book report. That's awesome, Zayden. Keep it up. Grade 4, Louis Wright, Angelique Allen, and Eli Palmer. Grade 4 Gordon, we have 3 top students. Natalia Bloomfield, who I think was also our most helpful. Natalia, are you still here? I saw your family at the back earlier. Oh, she's coming. Ershan Ogilvy, also a top boy. And Ershan loves dragon books, and we got him a dragon book. I hope he really likes this one. Justin Anderson. And Ershan really loves books. You might have seen him looking at the books earlier. He can't resist books. That's a good sign, especially for a boy. I know the last book he read, the title was, My Toilet is Bigger Than Yours. You need to check Ershan to find out what on earth that means. Grade 4 Stewart, Sarah Lee Harrison. Lorenardo Mitchell, a fine grade 4 gentleman. Lorenardo Mitchell. But he has good examples too. He has a sister and a brother that are past students, and they were outstanding. Then we have the trophies for the overall category of essay and poetry for grades 2 to 4. And guess who these are? Shante Brown, Ershan Ogilvy, and they get trophies. So they would have gotten their summer reads books, and they have also gotten trophies because they were the overall winners. And now the next special award category is that of parents. I'm going to invite our board member who is here, our board secretary. She's also a PCF steering committee member. She is a parent. She is so much more. She's a PTA past president. And I could go on. I'm going to invite her to make these special presentations to our parents. Now, if we had the capacity, we would award every parent because we appreciate every one of you. Each year, we pick a sample of those that really stand out, and it's just a sample because they go beyond the call of duty. This is just one example standing here. She is a PCF steering committee member. She helps us with our social media footprints. She is the secretary of the board. She's a former PTA president. You'd agree she stands out, right? Mrs. Carrie Ann Richards, please give her a round of applause. So you'll understand when I ask Vice Principal Wright to present one to her. But for the time being, she's serving as a representative of the Board of Governors, and she will present to Miss Tanya Lopez, followed by Miss Nicola Thompson. We always have to teach the children that the TH, Thompson and Thomas, you don't pronounce the TH. So it's Nicola Thompson. Janice Jones Campbell. We have to teach the parents how to run like the children. Marjorie Harrison. Shana K. Williams. Please applaud them even if they are not present. They still deserve the award. Tamika Watson. Melissa Townsend. Nikisha Blanc. And this one I need Vice Principal Wright to present to Mrs. Carrie Ann Richards. I want to be in this picture. Okay, continuing our duties, Mrs. Jacqueline Lloyd. She doesn't like to be recognized, but this lady does so much. She is one of our health consultants. She makes us happy on special days. She gives us her children whenever we want them. Mr. Kurt Stout. This is another gentleman and his dear wife. It's just that his wife has other motherly duties and she's not here as much this year, but both of them deserve it. Miss Nisha Daly. I saw Miss Nisha earlier. Okay. Mrs. Natalie Longshaw Hall. She's left. Okay. Okay, we just call her Nurse State. She's our nurse. She's not here. We know that she's not here. Miss Galen Gregor. Mrs. Althea Holness. Althea Holness. Mr. and Mrs. Dwayne James are not here, but they really go beyond, above and beyond. Even the fact that we are live streaming today is partly because of their contribution to El Instituto de Mandeville. And we need to give them a round of applause. Then there is Auntie Pauline, Sister Pauline. We call her all kinds of names because we worked with her for so long. And she's such a dedicated member of the El Instituto family. Mrs. Pauline Brown. Then we have Mrs. Keela Hartley. And we do have a second presentation to her because she was our guest speaker and reminded us that our children are like eagles and reminded us that it's a good thing to invest in their education. I saw Vice Principal Wright taking copious notes. Thank you, Auntie Pauline. Any name we call her, she answers. And this is our guest speaker, member of the PCF steering committee, just a parent who gives good feedback, and because she knows the school system well, it helps. Thank you so much, Mrs. Hartley. And then the final presentation in our sample today goes to Mrs. Palin Codlin. Now she's a grandma, that is another person you think is a mother. And whenever you want to know what is the recipe for the yellow yam pudding, this is the lady. Now that was the most outstanding Jamaican food for me on Jamaica Day. And she gets the credit for it. So you need to get the formula, it tastes good. Yellow yam pudding. Thank you, Mrs. Codlin. Thank you for staying with us. At this time, I invite Mrs. Shauna Lewis Wright. She's a parent and a teacher to give the vote of thanks. Then we'll have the national anthem and depart this place in peace.
Chairman of the Board of Governors, specially invited guests, principal, staff, parents, guardians, and fellow students, good afternoon. It is an honor and a privilege for me to have the opportunity to stand here to express my deepest gratitude to everyone. I would like to congratulate all the prize winners for leading the way in attaining many great accomplishments. Your work and achievements are recognized and honored by every member of this institution and by extension, Jamaica. To our principal, vice principals, teachers, presenters, those who decorated this beautiful edifice, parents and well-wishers, those who provided refreshment, a big thank you all. I also want to extend thanks to our guest speaker, who so ably provided the guidance, motivation, and encouragement that will definitely stay with us throughout our future endeavors. Special thanks also to the chairman and the board of governors for generously volunteering their time, energy, and expertise in guiding El Instituto de Mandeville through its path of development. We could have not done it without you. In closing, I leave you with this quote: giving up and letting go are not the same thing. One says you weren't worthy of the prize, the other says you are prize unknown. Shalom.
I'm sorry, we may have left off a parent name. Well, we have her name, but I've misplaced her certificate, and I want to apologize. This one is from grade 4 Stewart, and her name is Miss Jillian Wright. Is Miss Wright still in the room? Miss Jillian Wright? Yes, please. If you could just come to hold on to a certificate in the meantime for the picture, and we will be sure to get yours done. And this one will be presented by Dr. Wilson, Miss Jillian Wright.
It just goes to show that we're only human. We check and double check and triple check. But it's so awesome to have parents who will just cooperate. And this is what we talk about when we say we have to model for them. Because if a child is disappointed, you would see the grace with which a parent like that accepts it, and the child would act with just the same grace. That's just how it is. As we move forward, we model it. We invest in our children's education, as Mrs. Hartley encouraged us, and we remember that they are eagles, and we do whatever it takes to make them fly. At this time, I invite you to stand for the singing of the national anthem. Thank you for coming. Have a good afternoon. God bless you. Enjoy your summer holidays with your children, reading and getting involved in physical activities and doing all the conversations that you do as families and keeping them away from the gadgets, not more than 2 hours for a day.